Hello beautiful people, welcome once again to Abenasia's recipes. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I am sharing with you Jamaican style oxtail stew. Very exciting and delicious recipe. Let's get right into it. I'll begin by removing the meat out of the bag, and then I will trim off the excess fat that is around the meat. Oxtail has a lot of fat around it. Please make sure to trim off the excess fat that is on the meat. Oxtail is the tail of a cattle or veal, and this is how the meat looks after you've trimmed off all the excess fat that is on there. And guys, look at how much fat that I trimmed off. To wash your oxtail, you can use lemon or lime, or you can use vinegar. I'm using lemon today with water, and I'll just rinse my oxtail. I'll leave the oxtail in the lemon water for about 5 minutes. I'll pour the water out and then wash it one more time. My oxtail is very well clean now. It is time to season it. I have here a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of black pepper, a tablespoon of allspice, a teaspoon of adobo. I have a tablespoon of beef bouillon, a teaspoon of soy sauce, and I'll be using kitchen Bouquet. It is a browning season for meats and sauces. Browning is always used in a Jamaican oxtail recipe. If you don't have browning, you can always use dark soy sauce. I'll sprinkle some dry rosemary, and I have fresh vegetables. I have here my ginger, my garlic, habanero pepper, fresh thyme. I have onion and scallion. The habanero pepper is also called scotch bonnet. You can use half of it or you can use one whole one. I used one whole one to season my meat. So I will mix everything together or marinate my meat. At this point, you can put your hand in it to marinate. My wooden spoon is doing the magic. I marinated my meat for 5 hours. You can marinate between 2 to 24 hours. I'll put it in the refrigerator and cook my oxtail 5 hours later. I'll pour a 1/4 cup of oil to my pot, and I'll begin to brown or caramelize my oxtail. Browning your oxtail develop a beautiful and delicious flavor. Before putting the oxtail in the hot oil, I'll make sure to scrape some of the fresh vegetables like the onion and the scallion off. When it gets into the oil, it burns, and that's not what we want. So I'll turn my oxtail and brown the other sides, and I'll make sure to brown every side of each oxtail. Once the first batch is done browning, I will then put the second batch in and then brown the second batch as well. My first batch is done browning, so I'll remove it and then begin browning the second batch. And there's the second batch. I'll be turning it and browning all of the sides of the oxtail. My second batch is done browning, so I'll bring back the first batch into the pot, and then I'll pour my marinade, which is the onion, scallion, everything that I use to marinate the oxtail. I'm pouring it back inside the pot. I'll give it a quick mix and then cover to let it steam for about 15 minutes. It's been about 15 minutes. I'll give it a quick stir. I'll then come in with a 1/4 cup of browning, a tablespoon of my beef bouillon, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, and then a teaspoon of allspice. If you have pimento seeds, you can use them as well. I'll then come in with onion, thyme, scallion, carrots, and bell peppers. I'll give it a good mix, and then I will be adding some hot water. I'll be measuring about 4 cups of hot water. You can add more water if you like your oxtail very saucy. Yes, so I added 4 cups of hot water. I'll give it a mix and then cover it to cook for about 1.5 hours on a low medium heat. Oxtails are bony and the meat is tougher than steak or pork chop. So slow braising or stewing is one of the best ways to cook your oxtail for a tender and flavorful result. It's been about 45 minutes and I'm checking my oxtail. I will use a fork to check the tenderness of my oxtail, and it seems like it needs to cook a bit more. I covered and cooked it for another 30 minutes. It's been about 30 minutes. I'll add my butter beans. Adding butter beans is the traditional way of making Jamaican oxtail. I'll give it a quick stir and then allow it to cook for another 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, check the tenderness again, and my oxtail is falling off the bone. It is done cooking. Our Jamaican rice and peas is also ready, and I'll make sure to leave a link in my description just in case you want to learn how to make that Jamaican rice and peas. It pairs very well with the oxtail. I'm frying my sweet plantain, and then I have here my steamed cabbage as well, and dinner is ready, guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you're a new subscriber, a warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. And please, if you have not subscribed yet, please kindly subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell so anytime I upload a video, you'll be notified. Thank you. God bless you. And please stay safe. Bye, guys.